So the Cybertruck was now officially released. What do these electrical trucks mean for the off-road community? I'm going to say they don't help the off-road community any because these trucks weigh a ton. And I'm going to show you some videos of these trucks trying to go off-roading and the reason why it's a problem. For example, these things weigh, over a ton more than a standard truck would weigh. And when you factor in your tire size to the weight of the vehicle to your height of your ground clearance, those are the three factors that really play into can this vehicle go off-roading, because your weight to your traction means I can go over something pretty much. And when you're, almost doubling your weight and you still have the same tire size on these things, you're not going to win when you're going off-roading. They're just not really made for it. And here's an example right here. So this is the Rivian, and they're taking it on this concrete-made off-road spot, just to test the, capabilities of it going up a hill, the articulation. By the way, when they went up right here, this is the correct way to get over something. So you saw that they have on the right tire here, it was kind of a even way to get up, but over here there was a steeper hill, and they kept the momentum and got over it. Now, even an electric truck can do that, but the weight is a pretty big factor when you're talking about trying to get these, vehicles up a big giant hill. The Rivian actually did a pretty decent job of going up this hill. Spun a little bit here and there, but not bad at all for, for what it was. Now let's go to the Cybertruck. Cybertruck's up next. So the Cybertruck going up the hill, you can see right here, it's kind of fighting it a little bit there. It just has some trouble, getting over those bumps. Now I will say they should have had a little more momentum, but the rear tires should have helped carry that over. I can see if the rear tires were on that, it would have some more trouble. But just seeing right here, these trucks weigh a ton. They're not really designed for this. And this is a concrete pad that is going on. You can see it really slid over there. The traction control needs some work. It's not really designed for going off-roading. And again, like I said, this is a concrete pad that they're going up. So this is a pretty good scenario for going off-roading. Now, another thing too is, and I'm going to show it up here, I had a Dodge 400 convertible back when I was younger, and this is just going to prove that Cybertruck, car, anything, you can technically go off-roading. I could have taken that Dodge 400 convertible up this hill. I probably would have hurt the front end. I probably would have damaged a couple things, but I guarantee you it would have gone up this hill. I've taken that Dodge 400 when I was younger. I've taken it on a course that was rated at a 4. So there were some pretty serious rocks and, terrain and some mud pits. I took it, it went fully across it. And I saw my buddy at the end. I actually went alone, which is really stupid, but how kids are. And I saw my buddy at the end. He was amazed that I took the Dodge 400 convertible through that mud hole and through the course and actually made it. I've also, because, younger days, I've taken it through a creek, and the creek was about 20 inches deep. When I was driving it through the creek, I had my buddy over there too, of course, and he was there just in case I lose the car, because it was 20 inches deep. And that Dodge 400 convertible drove through the creek. It was a flowing creek, so the rear end was, shifting down into the current. It was a little nerve-wracking, but the front tires held. I just steered into the current, and it drove across, the creek was probably, like I said, 20 inches deep, and it was probably maybe 60 feet wide, so 60, 70 foot. So it was a pretty wide area too. But like I said, this is just proving that these Cybertrucks, these electric trucks, even the Ford F-150 Lightning, these things are not designed for off-roading, but technically you can drive anything off-road and you can make it look pretty cool. One thing I did want to show real quickly, and I just thought this was really cool of this Cybertruck. There's some things that, like this off-roading, you can make it happen. It's not really designed for it, but this is really cool. So this is cool because they took a Cybertruck against a brand new 2023 Porsche 911. And not that this is cool, but this is the coolest part of it all. When it got to the finish line right there, that is so cool. They beat a 2023 Porsche 911 while towing a 2023 Porsche 911. There are some things in the world that's cool. That is cool. And I love that they actually thought about doing this, not just racing the Porsche 911, but actually towing a Porsche 911 while doing it. Some things in the world are really cool. That is really cool. So, genius idea there. Look at that. Smart. And that's the true quarter mile times. That advertising right there was genius. That is what the Cybertruck is about. It is a truck that you can go to Home Depot to haul things. You can still do your normal things. So it is a truck. It's bulletproof. So if you need bulletproof, that's pretty cool too. I think that's actually pretty cool. But, it does truck things. It can race a Porsche 911. So it's the future of racing. When you're drag racing a car, these electric vehicles are the future of racing. And they're not the future of circle track. They're just too heavy. But for straight, quarter mile track racing, they are very, very fast. That's why I think they're really cool. They're just not made for off-roading. They're too heavy. Like I said, you need your weight falls into factor, your tire size falls into factor, and your ground clearance falls into factor. Now, they show 17 inches, I think it is, of ground clearance, which is, a class-leading ground clearance. But there's no articulation capability with that. I mean, you're jacking that truck to 17 inches off the ground. You're not going to get a lot of articulation with that ground clearance. So going off-roading with that 17 inches of clearance, it's going to lead into a lot of problems. So like I said, again, it's just not designed for off-roading. This truck is designed to look futuristic and cool on the road, to go to Home Depot, to haul things. It has a lot of uses, really neat uses for this truck. But please don't advertise these trucks as an off-road vehicle. The Ford F-150 Lightning, the Rivian, the Cybertruck. These vehicles are not off-road vehicles. They are not designed for it. They weigh too much. So just please quit advertising it as such a vehicle. So that's it for this episode. And if you like what we're doing here, please subscribe, and we'll see you next episode.